Hello and welcome back to the Rope Access and Climbing Podcast YouTube edition. I'm your host, Mikey Stevenson, and today I'm going to be talking to you about how to assemble your Rope Access Level 1 harness. So if this is your first time here, please make sure to subscribe and follow us wherever you get your podcasts. So stay tuned. Step into your harness and get ready for a podcast about the vertical world. All right, well, let's dive into today's episode. Today we are talking about how to assemble our level 1 rope access harness, as well buddy checks with my buddy. Hey everyone. All right, so let's dive into it. All right, so the first thing that we are going to start with is our helmet. Here I have a Petzl Vertex Best helmet. I do have a couple accessories attached, so I have earmuffs and a visor. Obviously, different manufacturers have different accessories and different connections. So just be aware of the job that you're going to and the accessories that you may require. All right, so to don a helmet, basically put it on your head. Okay, adjust it so it's snug on your head. You have a chin strap. Do the chin strap up. Chin strap, make sure it's comfortable. It's not too far forward or too far back. They do adjust. With this model, it can be adjusted right by the temple. Other hard hats do require an adjustment on the back. Next up is the harness. All right, so this is a standard rope access harness. I am currently using a Eyolf harness from Eyolf Canada. This is a 5-point harness for rope access. So I have a D-ring on the front, the back, on the sides, and another one here at the central point. Okay, to don this harness, I will put this over one of my arms, grab the waist strap on either side. Now, something that I like to refer to here is everyone knows how to put on underwear. You're gonna put your harness on like underwear. We're gonna start out like this. I have one large hole and two little holes. Okay, don't mess it up. Slide one leg through, slide the other leg through. All right, so once we get here, pull everything over top. All right, so there we go. First thing first here, I'm going to take my waist strap, put that on top of my hip bones. I'm going to take the two side buckles, okay, and pull that down towards the central part of the harness. Once I've done that, I want to make sure that it's even from the D-ring to the buckle on either side. After that, I'm going to take the excess slack, feed that back through the D-rings. If you have keepers, put them in the keepers. Next up is the shoulder straps here. All right, I'm going to cinch that down. Now I'm not going to go super tight here. I just want it to keep the chest ascender in a vertical orientation. Store the extra strap away. Once I've stored that away, make sure that you verify that the D-ring is between the shoulder blades, so it's not too high up or too low. After that, leg loops. Leg loops we're going to have adjusted in a way that they're kind of loose. Not super loose, that they're kind of falling off of you, but not super tight either, so they're uncomfortable. We need them to be loose enough that you can move them around while you're hanging in your harness for comfort. Okay, so that is how you don your harness. All right, next up is Cowstails. All right, so here I have a dynamic rope They come in all shapes and sizes depending on the company you're working for. They will cut them to different lengths. If you're working for a company that has sew-in terminations, then they're fixed lengths. So you won't have any adjustability with those sort of companies. This cow's tail is approximately about 7.5 feet. So it is pretty long for me. I do have pretty short arms. So also when you're tying your cowstails onto your harness, please do follow your company policies and procedures and talk to your level 3s on how to do so. So now I'm going to tie a retrace figure 8. If you haven't checked out my video on how to tie level 1 knots, please check that out now. So after I get the first figure 8, I'm going to run this through my central D-ring. I'm going to feed it from the bottom and then retrace that figure 8 knot. All right, so there's the first knot. Second knot here is going to be a figure 8 on a bite. And when I tie this figure 8 on a bite, I want the cow's tail without a carabiner to come to about my eyebrows or a little bit more, and that's about as far as you want them to be. Okay? So I got one. I'm going to repeat this 2 more times so I have all 3 of my cow's tails mirrored on the same D-ring. All right, so now that I have all 3 of my cow's tails attached at my central D-ring, all 3 of them are approximately the same length. All right, now I can start attaching equipment. All right, so I'm gonna start out with my hand ascender. So here I have a hand ascender, a foot loop. Foot loop's pretty basic, just a strap with a loop on one side, another loop on the other side. As well, I have a locking carabiner. Okay, so I want to make sure that my carabiner is attached to the bottom side of this device. All devices have some sort of an indicator of how it's supposed to be used. This has a nice fancy arrow that says up. Like I said, attach the carabiner to the bottom of it. So attach it right there. Now attach my foot loop. I'm going to just take the foot loop, bend it in half, attach both pieces to there. Now anytime that we're operating a carabiner, okay, open up the carabiner in a way that all the equipment is in the bottom section of it. As we do work at height, we want to ensure that nothing can fall out at height. Okay, so there we go. Now I am right hand dominant. If you're left hand dominant, you will have to swap this. But for myself, right hand dominant, I'm going to take the right hand cow's tail, attach the hand ascender to the right hand cow's tail. From there, I attach that to the right side gear loop. As I have a gear loop and a D-ring, we're going to attach it just like that. Next up is one of our backup devices. Here I have a Safe Tec Duck-R. Just a standard rope grab style back device. There are so many different devices out there, so just pay attention to what the company is providing you. So with this device in particular, I'm going to pull the neck of it through, take my carabiner, attach it to the duck. All right, I'm going to open up the carabiner, grab my furthest left side cow's tail, attach that cow's tail to that carabiner, and attach that to my left side gear loop. Next up, I'm going to just grab a spare carabiner, attach that to my spare cow's tail. This cow's tail will go to my left side gear loop as well. I'll just forget about it. Next up here is my second backup device. In this case, I have a ASAP Lock, a very, very common device to find. As well, I'm going to grab a spare carabiner. This carabiner is going to go to my left side D-ring. So open up the carabiner, hook it from the front, close the carabiner, push it through, leave it there for a second. Now this device here is the ASAP Lock. It's a 3rd generation ASAP. I have an OK traction carabiner. There's multiple different styles of connectors you can use for this. And I have a shock pack attached. All right. Please make sure to follow your company policies and procedures, as well as the manufacturer specs as well when using all of this equipment. So attaching this to the harness, this device must be attached to the sternal D-ring. Okay, so that's your chest. So attached to the chest D-ring, I'm going to take one of the 2 stainless steel bars here from this device and attach that to this carabiner. So open up the carabiner, take this device, attach it to the carabiner, let it be. Now that carabiner is only there strictly to carry the weight of the device, and it prevents it from swinging around if you lean over or anything like that. All right, don't have too much left. So I have a controlled descent device. In this case, I have a Petzl rig. You could use a S-Tech Flow, a Petzl ID. Several different types of devices out there for a controlled descent device. But in this case, I have this device. So gold plate towards the sky, hole towards your belly button, carabiner in hand. I'm going to open the carabiner, attach the carabiner from the top side, or in this case, the gold plate. Close the carabiner, rotate it around. Here I have now the gate of the device and the gate of the carabiner facing each other. I'm going to open up the carabiner, attach this to the central D-ring. And we're going to put this between the 1st and 2nd cow's tail from the right-hand side and apply this to the D-ring from the bottom. Once you've done that, lie that down. And the final pieces here, I have 2 locking carabiners. They're just spare. Clip those off to your side. Forget about them. It's always good to at least carry 1 spare carabiner. You just never know when you will need that. And that is how you put your basic level 1 harness together. All right, next up here, we are talking about the buddy check. So my buddy's going to step on in and run me through a buddy check. All right, so what I want to do here is when I'm doing a buddy check, I want to be vocal and describe what I'm looking for when I'm doing this buddy check. It's extremely important to do buddy checks anytime that you put a harness on. Say you go to the washroom, you come back, you go for lunch break, you come back, make sure you get a buddy check. Also an important time to do this is say you're going to go off a side of a structure, a bridge, anything like that. This is also a really good time to just have that extra set of eyes before actually going and executing that job. So here what I like to do is I like to start from the top, work my way down. All right, check those knots, go to one side and then go to the other side. There's no specific what side you have to go to. And then after I've checked all that stuff, then I'm going to get them to turn around and then make sure that that D-ring is right where I want it, right in between those shoulder blades. All right, so let's get started. All right, so is your helmet on? Good, snug, excellent. Chin strap's going up, good. All right, the ASAP carabiner is locked, excellent. Going down, chest ascender looks good. Can you open that up? Excellent, great. Moving down, okay, so you have a ring open there. That's a little different. If they have a Malon or a carabiner in that location, that's right here. Make sure that that's locked. Okay, moving down. All right, show me your furthest right hand cow's tail knot. Looks good. Can you flip it over? Excellent. All right, your descent device carabiner facing the same side. Good, looks good. Can you open up the faceplate? Excellent. All right, the 2 other knots. Okay, turn those over. Looking good. All right, we're gonna go to the other side, so the right side here. Okay, hand ascender, foot loop knot. Can you show the knot? Excellent. Flip that over. Great. All right, let's go to the other side. Okay, so you got 2 knots there. Check those. Looking good. Flip those over. Great. You got a duck over here. Yep. Okay, can you spring that? Make sure it's loaded properly. Good. Got some spare carabiners. Excellent. All looks good. Can I get you to turn around and see the D-ring? Excellent. All right, looks good. Thank you.
All right, well, thank you very much for tuning into today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a great time making this episode. If you know someone getting into rope access, please share this video with them, as well the level 1 knots, level 1 anchor system videos as well. If you like this video, please make sure to hit the like button, show your support. As well, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell for notifications as I put out new content. If you have something to say, share, let me know in the comments below. And hit me up on Instagram. Until next time.